I want to start tonight with one word. It's really the theme of the week. It's called crisis. It can make you and can break you. How you respond to crisis defines the person you are, the leader you are, and the legacy you leave. Throughout history, when the pressure was turned up, a true leader has always taken responsibility, even when it's easiest to find someone else to blame. And a true leader has always taken action, even when it's easier to, do nothing. Think FDR. He promptly answered the Japanese after they attacked Pearl Harbor.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. A state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
And the war was on. Providing America with leadership when you need it most is why you were elected. And you tried to be elected in the first place. Another example, 1981, Ronald Reagan facing a PATCO workers' strike. They refused to work. We need, of course, air traffic controllers. So Reagan stepped up and spoke up and did what he thought was best for the future of America. Remember?
I must tell those who failed to report for duty this morning, they are in violation of the law, and if they do not report for work within 48 hours, they have forfeited their jobs and will be terminated. And they were. We might not always like the leadership at hand, but we appreciate it. And we might not always like the decisions that were made, but we appreciate that somebody stepped up. In that case, it was Reagan. When those planes crashed into our buildings on 9/11, our 43rd president, George W. Bush, gave the country exactly what it needed.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
He showed up. It was Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, in Flint, Michigan, where a water crisis was taking place. The city is still dealing with it today. Well, he decided to show up, and guess what? He drank the water. Many were too nervous to do it.
President Barack Obama visiting Flint for the first time since the water crisis, drinking filtered tap water while at the local food bank and encouraging the people of Flint to do the same.
Okay, it's leadership. Agree or disagree. With these leaders, they made decisions and they acted. They showed up. Which leads me to today. We got two crises at the same time with one common thread, a total and complete absence of communication, responsibility, and leadership. Trains are derailing all over the country, and leadership is nowhere to be found.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as me. Yesterday was the first time I heard anything from the White House.
Yeah, we don't know. And what I think perhaps might be worse than not showing up is speaking out and blaming somebody else, like the mayor did, the former mayor Pete did, tweeting his way through this mess. We're constrained, he says this, we're constrained by law in some areas of rail regulation, like the braking rule withdrawn by the Trump administration in 2018 because of a law passed by Congress in 2015. Again, not his fault, but we are using the powers we do have to keep people safe. No, you aren't, by the way, close quote. And objects are flying over the skies with no answers to be had. We don't even know if it was a UFO from another planet, right?
I will tell you this, the president is the best communicator that we have in the White House.
That's sad, if it is in fact the case. You can't even say we're looking at bad leadership, we're looking at no leadership. A complete misreading of what taking charge should even look like.
Intelligence gathering that's going on by every country around the world is overwhelming. And the idea that a balloon could traverse, break American airspace is... Anyway, it's not a major breach.
If you look at what the American transportation systems have faced in the last 2 or 3 years, partly because of the pandemic, we've faced issues from container shipping to airline cancellations. Now we got balloons.
Yeah, and everyone laughed. And when President Biden is forced weeks later to finally address one of these major problems, he has no interest in answering any questions from the press. Americans really want these questions asked, and they want them answered.
There's been credibility is really trying to compromise by your family's business relationships.
Sir, Mr. President,
give me a break, man.
Did you overreact? Mr. President,
When you become president of the United States, or vice president, or even cabinet secretary, you were elected and appointed to make decisions, to lead, to simply just show up for the American people. And it's unacceptable in my mind to do anything else. It's been said that 90% of success is just showing up. So I ask you, show up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.